Hello and welcome to the Gears Tactics playthrough. This is my playthrough of attempting the game on Insane without having any units die. I tried to not spoil anything, no clickbait thumbnail, no spoiler in the title. I know people that scroll through the YouTube feed don't want to have the game spoiled. I'm now going to post the gameplay and I'm going to chat over it. I'm going to try give some tips and tricks per level, but mostly just chat about my experience inside of the level. Just try help you get through it and maybe talk about what I was thinking at the time. All of these levels and games were streamed live at twitch.tv/GGZII, so if you want to tune in live, that would be awesome. If you would like to comment and like, that would be awesome. And if you want to go a step further and support all of the content I put out on YouTube, there are ways to do so in the description with direct support links. There may even be a shop in the future, and Twitch Primes, because, you know, everyone in the world uses Twitch Prime these days apparently, so that's a good way to support me. All of the videos will be put into a Gears Tactics playlist.
Find your own ride, assholes. Too damn many of them. Fall back! Inside the madness!
Civvies. Running's all they're good for.
She shoots better than you. Okay, protect that truck! Don't know how long the armor on their rig's gonna hold, so hustle up there. We gotta give them a fighting chance.
The way they turn tail, think a hiding chance is all they're up for.
Noted, Sid.
Alright,
Now
we have
move.
made it onto mission 4. We still have no deaths, we're still alive, and we're beginning this one, again, as always, blind on Insane, attempting to do it with no deaths. Now, initially I just moved everybody up, and I spotted a decent grenade towards the back, and I figured if I can put out a load of damage early on, I probably should. And then I just play it safe and overwatch my guys up. You know, I have no idea what the level's got in store for me, so my idea now is if I'm not on a timed mission and I'm not yet in a rush, I'll just basically play back, land big grenades when I can, overwatch, you know, with more bullets and turns if available. And I figured, alright, well the first grenade worked, let's move Cole up this time into that position and try a grenade. I wasn't sure who to kill here. I could kill the back two or the front two, and after some deliberation I went for the back two, because I figured the front two are going to walk out into an overwatch and die, so let's just deal with the back two when we can. And I set my guys up in the exact same position with another overwatch, and the Locust came out, they got beamed down, and both went down. One died, you know, one went down, sorry, two went down, one didn't die. It's like half HP there on the left hand side. It was going a really, really good start, so I didn't want to throw away the lead that I felt like I'd got, so I just moved everybody up again, playing it defensively, because the way I've figured out so far in this game is if you can land a kill for free, you really should do, simply because it limits obviously what the enemy can do. There's less things for you to think about, so when I had those opportunities to grenade or kill a couple, definitely went for it. And I figured I'd just play safe here, overwatch, and I'd move Gabe up, and he could just watch behind, because again, no idea where the enemies are going to spawn, so I'll overwatch behind myself and see what happens. So the enemy makes their turn, and the third one also runs out into the open, and that clears all of this section. So that was looking great. And I then took a couple turns to just slowly move forward, not rushing, because each time you sort of make a turn, there's a chance the enemies spawn. So I just moved up one by one, bit by bit, and just kept my guys in basically the same position, just slightly moving forward, just in case, you know, something spawns, an emergence hole, anything like that. And it seemed like nothing was spawning. Each turn I moved up, nothing was happening, so I just basically kept moving up until something happened, and eventually some locust appeared. There's one next to this big, what reminds me of the Gears 2 rig that Dizzy used to drive. And we've got 2 locusts pushing in and 1 at the back, and luckily the 2 that pushed on me, because I was in Overwatch, I was popped up and he actually hit me and I didn't die, which I think it's the first time I've been clipped by 2 people and not died. So that was very nice. So I figured I'd heal him up with the stim from Gabe and look for a grenade. Maybe I could knock out their Overwatch or do a decent grenade, and I couldn't really find one. So I moved up Stotty to Hottie over here because he was in a bit of a precarious position. I figured, alright, you can just reload your mulcher and you can just cover this area in case they push on me. Was thinking what to do with Sid. I could maybe Rage Shot, could Barrage, Charge. Decided just to peek out with Cole, and Sid, was Bayonet Charge, I should say. Sid was in a bit of a precarious position, like this locust in front of him could push onto that truck maybe. Was thinking about maybe taking him out, but that would leave me stuck out in the open. So I'd definitely die. Really was looking for maybe a flank, but then he'd probably flank me. Wasn't really sure where to put Sid. I had a check on a shot, thought maybe I could do some damage. Missed it, 57%. And I just figured, alright, I'll just put him back and I won't overwatch him. I'll just leave his head down. Then I gambled and put him in Overwatch because, you know, you gotta live for the gamble, haven't you? And I just overwatched everybody and just, again, played really defensive to see what the game throws at me. So this guy here gets beamed down and one of them falls back into the circle. The circle is the objective I've got to get into to sort of retake that machine. And again, we're playing very defensively, very Overwatch based, and trying to save grenades. I figured that pretty much every good level that I've done so far has been down to grenades. So what I'm trying to do is save grenades until it's absolutely necessary to either get me out of a bad situation or to progress. So I was thinking about grenading here because I could kill that back one. I could maybe kill the left one, damage that one, and I wasn't really sure what to do. Should I throw the grenade? Changed my mind, and what I figured out I could do is check maybe my percentage to shoot. Maybe I could disable this guy. You know, I've got a higher percentage chance with the pistol. He's very low at the back, so maybe if I kill the one at the back with my pistol, or I kill the one on the left, then that would sort of tell me who to grenade. So I actually downed this guy, so I was like, right, well, I'll just shoot the next guy as well, because if it doesn't hit, then I can grenade him anyway. And it both hit. So I didn't actually have to use my grenade. I just tucked him back in position and just set my guys up again.
Okay, I'm good.
You know, I think all 3 are downed at this point, so all I did is I just kept everybody alive. No silly moves. Moved Sid back a little bit. Got his pistol out, so because he had more ammo. He had no ammo in his retro. So I swapped my pistol and overwatched with him. And then the last one that's in this circle, there's 2 more you can see. So one's in the circle and one's pushing. But all are now in the down state. And basically, you see this crate here on the left hand side with that box. I eventually picked up that box. That's kind of what happened. The 3 here time out. And I was looking at picking up this box for the extra reward at the end. This guy was hunkered down in the middle, and I couldn't think of a turn. So what I did was I just ended my turn, head down, no overwatch, just kept my head down so he couldn't peek me. Luckily, that was a good choice because it was only a partial hit because I kept my head down. And that's brought him out. So now that he's been brought out, I can use the flank again, disable his overwatch here. And then I can check for a shot, or again, we can play it safe, and we can indeed set up an overwatch. You'll notice I did go ahead and pick up that crate in one of the turns. I have kind of cut out the dead turns, and what I mean by
Waiting
dead
orders.
turns is me just pressing end turn and nothing happens, because yeah, that's not very interesting to watch. So this guy is pinned by overwatchers and he runs into his death. And that's looking great. And there's one drone left in this circle. And again, to skip forward time, I did about 6 turns of slowly moving up when nothing happened. This guy just stayed far back, didn't push out, didn't shoot me, didn't do anything. And eventually we ended up in a situation where I just moved all my soldiers up. And this was kind of the thing. I hadn't used any grenades. And the whole point of me sieging up one by one was in my head. I was thinking, I don't want to waste the grenade. So if I go in and pincer him from 4 angles, I'll definitely be able to get this shot. But this guy tucked himself away, and I didn't want to go into the circle early and activate whatever was about to happen. And I couldn't ever find a decent shot. There was some 65% chances that missed. And I was like, alright, well I'll go for this flank, but I don't want to go in the circle. So I pushed up again with Coltrane, who I've just unlocked for this act. And I thought, right, can I get a shot with him? 31%, I'll try the pistol. 62, another 62% chance. And this one missed as well. So I wasn't really sure what to do. And after all this moves and all this pincering, I figured, right, I'm going to have to grenade him. You know, maybe I didn't. Maybe I could have done another turn, but I was getting sick of taking turn after turn. So I grenaded him. And then I saw Coltrane do this animation, and I was thought, uh-oh. And an emergence hole spawned right behind me. Now, if I'd have known, I could have done something about that, but I am playing this level blind on Insane, so I had to kind of react. So luckily, Sid is right on it, and he has action points. So what I decided to do was deal with this as soon as I can. That seems to be like the best thing in the game. If you can kill an emergence hole before it spawns, obviously that's ideal, but it really does make it easy because less and less enemies spawn, and the battlefield just doesn't get as messy. So what I did was I basically tagged the emergence hole, moved him out of the way, and just basically moved every single person back. Just, you know, because I wasn't sure what was about to happen, and I figured I meant to be in the circle. So what I kind of did was I got everyone in the circle, tucked everybody into cover. You know, I keep making the mistake of when I climb over cover, they're not going into cover, so I do need to check that, because that can get you killed. And I figured, well, I'll get them all into cover, get them as safe as I can, and then I'll watch forwards, or I guess my back, because nothing can spawn behind me, I believe. And their turn happens, and I do indeed get rid of the emergence hole. Pod drops off a lot more enemies this time, tons of wretches, and this is where I was pretty pleased that I saved the grenades, because I felt like that first area was too easy. This mission actually only took me 1 attempt. Maybe it was a bit of luck because I did dodge a couple shots, but you know, I felt like I needed to save my grenades, and I'm glad I did. So if you didn't know, Coltrane has a passive called Blitz. If he doesn't do anything, he has a chance to get an extra action point. So with this extra action point, I'm able to run all the way over here, tag this grenade on this emergence hole, and I'm able to do this as well because the other emergence hole got shut down, which means I'm not in any overwatch, so I'm free to move, and then I can also lob my thrown grenade onto this. So this is I thought this was a really good move. Tagged the emergence hole and killed all 4 people. And the reason I did that was Gabe also, I checked, had Empower. So I then empower Cole, which gives him another turn, which then allows me to get out of the explosion of the grenade. So basically that was like a 5-point turn on Cole, and I think that was a really good move. Just made it a ton easier to get through sort of the fight so far, because this game seems to be, if you get pincered, you're screwed. You get 1 shot. So it's about dealing with the enemies in a manner where you've only maybe got 1 or 2 things to cover. When you have to start covering 3 or 4 moves, you just end up dying. So there is 1 wretch here left at the back. And so I figured I'd just cover all the angles with an Overwatch, and we'll see what happens. So the emergence hole gets closed, that's looking great. And more wretches flood in. They head into one of the Overwatches, but the rest don't really get hit. So there's quite a few enemies on the field, and I figured what I'd do with Coltrane is I'd, again, just set up a flank here, you know, and an Overwatch to sort of stop the flank. And then I've got 3 people to think about, so using the old technique I was thinking about before, just kill them when you can. Seems to be the best move so far. So I was looking, is there any way to kill 4? There was a way to kill 3. I wasn't sure whether to do that, so I cancelled it. Because I was like, maybe I could kill them with Overwatch. Maybe I could kill them with Overwatch and then save the grenade for the next engagement. But then I was like, well, if I don't kill them and then something more drastic happens, then I'm going to get surrounded and wrapped around. So I figured I'll just kill them whilst I can. So I've equipped Gabe with a grenade, not a stim, for this mission, which I don't really feel like the stim's that useful on Insane, especially when I'm not spec'ing to any healing. Maybe if I get a lot more health on my character, stim becomes more useful. But Stotty, I thought I'd take a pot shot with him, and he actually hit that wretch, so good job Stotty. And I was thinking about getting aggressive here, cleaning up these 2 wretches. Wasn't sure whether to do that, because I was like, if I overextend, I might die. So if I pushed up with Sid here and missed, that wretch might jump and whack me. But I was like, 80% chance, I think this is going to be fine. Checked with my pistol, that was also 80% chance, so I decided to use the Retro Lancer. Actually partially hit him, but luckily managed to kill him. So there's only really one wretch to think about, and it says in the top left that I've got 24 enemies, 24% remaining. So I was feeling pretty confident, went for a pistol shot and actually hit it. So that was pretty decent. And then at this point I was like, right, I have no idea where they're going to come from. Let's not do anything fancy. So I'll just Overwatch everybody and then end the turn.
They're coming from the other side.
So right now, these are like the worrying characters. The Grenadiers, if they sneak up on you, they will one-shot you. There's also a couple of Hammerburst guys at the back, and I was kind of thinking, right, the main threat is the Grenadier. Could I grenade him? Could I set up an Overwatch, you know? But what I thought I'd do is I'd just fall back. Because I don't think he can close this much gap on one turn. So what I decided to do was fall back and then sort of let the enemy make their move, and then I can figure out what I need to do. So I don't think he can push all the way through this and then kill me. So I'm going to set up a couple Overwatches and just end my turn and see what these Grenadiers do. One pushes right on me, and I was just sat here thinking, when this cutscene ends, I am dead. 100% dead. He's about to shotgun me in the head, mantle kick me. It's all over. Also, a Hammerburst gets shot across the map and a shotgun both missed. I mean, I know I'm in cover, and I'm hunkered down in cover, but I thought I was for certain dead right there. So I just couldn't think of a way to deal with this Grenadier. So what I wanted to do was move out and tag a grenade. So I moved out. Then I was like, wait, I don't even have a tag grenade. So now I was stuck in the open versus a Nasher. Not where I wanted to be. So I was going to fall back. Then I thought to myself, I could bayonet charge and then run away. So that's what I did. I decided that I bayonet charge this guy. That's going to give me an extra action point. And I'm just going to run away as best I can. So I just wanted to put a good amount of distance between myself. So I almost messed that up there. And again, I left my guy out of cover. So because I left him out of cover by mistake, I thought I needed to cover this flank. So I got Cole to sort of cover one side, and then if he was going to push forward, that was only one move that I couldn't really cover. So the thinking was, maybe take a shot, maybe butter him up a little bit, maybe I could do a bayonet charge, but then that would leave me out in the open, but it would help Sid out, because then he couldn't be pushed. but then I'd be stuck out in the open, and then I could get Hammerburst killed. So I was kind of think, how do I get Sid out of this situation, and how do I sort of play this out? Start thinking again about the bayonet charge. Eventually what I decided to do was not think about it, and I threw this grenade and thought, right, let's follow the rules. Let's throw a grenade and kill one guy. Let's get him out of the way. Then we moved Sid. I believe I empowered Sid and moved him. Then I went for a shot with Cole, which actually connected. And then because it connected, I was like, alright, I'll play it safe and I'll overwatch. And now really, I don't think that Grenadier is going to push forwards onto the Stotty. So what I did was I sort of mulched across here, but then I was like, maybe that Grenadier does push me. So I covered him with Gabe. So I was kind of, yeah, I wasn't sure where to position the two guys. But they all got put into Overwatch. Sorry, they all got put into the down but not out state through the Overwatch.
Let's make this count.
So two guys come and Overwatch from the front. I don't think I've got any grenades really to help me, but because this guy's downed, I was like, I'll bayonet charge him. But then I was like, that's kind of wasted. He's downed. I don't need to kill a downed enemy. I can remove the Overwatch by doing this. So I pushed him up one block, executed him, and that's going to give me another action. And then with that extra action point, we can get Cole out of that sort of cross and tuck him behind this block. So that went pretty well. So there's only one guy left. So I was like, alright, I'll move Sid back up. He's the guy with the grenade left. Move him up. And I can throw the grenade onto him. But couldn't reach. So then I just tucked up onto this next sandbag and threw it. And that was it. Mission was done. Pretty simple in the end. Although I did, you see that down but not out enemy? I did forget to collect that crate next to him, which I should have done. But I was a bit worried about more enemies spawning, and the mission was over and I'd done it first time, so I decided to get out of there first time.
Solid work. Location secure. Now, let's make sure everybody's in one piece.
So much for gratitude.
We're not done here.
With them? No. And you know why. Perfect.
Hey there. Looks like we came just in time.
Listen, fascist. Your hammer strike took everything from us. Don't you come here looking for things.
So here's what I see. Guts. But no discipline. If we hadn't picked up your distress call, you would have been overrun. We can help each other. Join us.
All right. Here's what I see. A bunch of lost fascists so desperate for warm bodies, they want to conscript civilians. You're hunting that crazy locust.
Ukon. What do you know about him?
Enough. Places he goes.
Show me.
Maybe. For the right price. But a starter's busted. So unless one of your goons is a mechanic, we're not going anywhere.
I think I know a guy.